Good afternoon, guys. I hope that you can hear me. This is going to be, I'm trying to summarize as much as possible about this video that I'm going to talk about the KET practice. Unfortunately, we couldn't see each other today, so hopefully you can watch this video because it's super important. We don't have time for to check in class the KET practice. I'll try to find some time, but it seems like a like impossible, impossible mission to do. So instead of doing that, I would like you to watch this video and do the KET practice online that I'm going to share some links with you. Actually, there are two different links related to that KET practice. But first, let me introduce about what is KET, first of all. Well, in order to understand that, we need to check a little bit the Common European Framework. This is just for the purpose of this. The Common European Framework is to identify you in a level in English, in any language, not only English, and it's similar to the levels in Cele. As you can see, it starts from A1, and but the last levels, as you can see, the three last levels are different. So A1, A2, B1, B2, C1, and C2. This is to identify that you have language competence and communicative skills. Um, the reason that they created this is for to be a language standardization. And in order to achieve that, you have to do exams. In order to show that you have this level, you need to do exams. And the exams that we are focused, as you can see, is in this one, in the A2 level, because supposedly we have this level. That means that all that you have learned, uh, it's going to be included, but in a different way, different from the exams. Okay, so this is for our KET practice A2, which is the now it's called key, but before that it was called KET. Yeah, A2. So basically, is for that. Obviously, if you have a official certificate, official exam, you have to pay. But here it's Cele is just to show you that you have the level, that you show the competence of the language of the not only that, but also communicative skills as well. Um. So yeah. So as I said before, it starts from basic and it goes to proficiency. And as you reach these levels, the most recommendable thing is that you do the University Cambridge English qualifications or examinations in order to have this paper, no? In order to show that I have this level. Yeah. For example, your teacher, Enrique, has it is stuck in this level, no? So I am in between of them because I have presented B2. Unfortunately, I haven't passed this level yet, but I am planning to do it in the future. Uh, they are totally different, as I said before, from the exams that we check. It's not about units, it's about all you have learned about the language and using it or using these kind of things, use of English, vocabulary, listening, writing, um, speaking as well. Is to show that we can comprehend, we can understand simple phrases or things like that. Yeah, especially in this level that you are in now, supposedly, because I've seen that some of you have some mistakes, a lot of mistakes actually, and you have to work on that in order to achieve, in order to have this certification officially. The most recommendable is to take as many courses as you can or prepare for the exams. And that's what we're going to talk about preparation. It's very important to prepare the exam because these exams are tough, are so difficult. Well, not so difficult, but they are complicated in a certain way. Yeah, as you can see, here we have the different categories that you can do. For example, the first one is about reading and writing. The second category, the second, uh, the other skill that it is presented in the exam is the listening. Yeah, and the final skill that you have to do or you have to um, achieve is as well the speaking test. Um, so we're gonna be checking this. These are different readings, so it's not always about true or false. It has different wide range of activities and different exercises. No, for example, the first one here, reading and writing. Um, the first part is about kind of ads or short text that you have to do. You have to match. Uh, you have you have to answer the correct one according to the same meaning or similar meaning as this previous text. So, for example, hi Jim, can you meet me at 2 p.m. today? I'll be in classroom B at the time. Thanks, Sarah. So, uh, obviously, Sarah writes that, no? Sarah's class start at 2 p.m. It doesn't say that. Sarah wants to meet Jim this afternoon, and Jim is teaching in classroom letter B today. So Jim is not teaching in any class. Well, in he's not teaching. It's mentioned classroom B, but he's not teaching. Obviously, he's a student. He's a classmate. And the first one, Sarah's class starts at 2 p.m. It doesn't say that the classes start at 2 p.m. So the most similar, the correct answer should be letter B. As you can see, it has the similar idea. In this kind of texts, you don't have to like answer. If you see 2 p.m., you don't have to answer like, it says 2 p.m. This is the correct one. Or if it says classroom B, this one is the correct one. Not at all. Not at all. So basically, what you have to do is to comprehend the idea and find the similar idea. Yep. So that would be this kind of activity. This is the first part of the test, reading and writing. Okay. As we move on to the second part, reading and writing. Mm, this part it has several texts. As you can see, there are people here. The instruction says read the text and for each question choose the correct answer. So new students at the National University, we have Mike, Christy, Dave, these three different texts, and you have to, I highly recommend that you read all of them and try to remember. And what you have to do in the questions or in the sentences, here you have to choose a person, yeah, the most related phrase to that person in the text. So what you have to do is to go back, reread the text, and find the answer about, for example, who likes cycling. So one person is going to mention about cycling, yeah. For example, you're not going to find the exact words about that. It says here, I like riding my bike. And so the answer would be, in this case, Mike. No? So this is basically it. You have to identify similar ideas. And for the other texts are going to be the same. Basically, you have to read careful the texts, the different paragraphs. Sometimes it's about countries, people, interests, whatever. But you have to be careful about that. I always recommend when we are reading a text that you first read, it's called skimming. Read as fast as you can. Hay que leer tan rápido como se pueda and more or less get the general idea. And after that, you focus on this, on the questions, on the sentences, and you read again the text and find the answers. Yeah. And try to remember the texts. So this is the first part of the reading and writing, no? The first three parts, yeah. The fourth part about this reading and writing is about reading the text, but it's missing some gaps. Actually, you have to choose one of these gaps. What I recommend, in order to answer this, in order to find the correct answer, is to read the previous sentence, and the after sentence. You have to read before and after the gap in order to choose an appropriate word, an adequate word for that. No, in this case, sometimes there are verbs, sometimes they are uh, adjectives, or, or as you can see, other words like this, quantifiers. So you have to be very careful about that. Read before and after the text. In this kind of exercise, it's called um, multiple choice. Multiple choice. Next, you will have an open close activity or exercise. Open close means that you have to write only one word and you don't have the answers. So you have to be careful on that. You have to think about the correct answer. The correct answer can be a noun, a verb, an adjective, um, a modal verb, whatever. It can be any word. So what I highly recommend is to read carefully and think of the most appropriate word. For example, here it says, "Hi Marcus, how are you?" Weather here in Spain is very hot, so it's missing the article de. The weather, the weather here in Spain is very hot. But not always it's going to be an article. Can be mm, the verb to be, is, are, have, has. It can be other verb, for example, will, going to, whatever. Yeah. So depends on the context. You have to be careful about that. The same as the previous exercise, you have to read before and after the gap in order to know, to get the idea of what might be missing. Okay, we move on to the next part. The next part, now you have the writings. The writings, what you have to do is to do a writing what you are asked for. For example, here it says you want to invite your friend Helen to the cinema next week. Write an email to Helen. In your email, you have to invite Helen to the cinema. Ask Helen what time the day suits her. Explain where the cinema is. So basically, you have to write three things, and it has to follow these exact words, no more than 25, maximum 30. No, it says here 25 or more, but the ideal is 25 or 30 or 35 as maximum. For example, you have to start, dear Helen, would you like to go to the cinema? Sorry, would you like to go to the cinema with me? Mm, uh, I want to invite you to the cinema. Can you be available, or is it okay if we see you on Friday at 7 p.m.? Or tell me if you can. The cinema is near my house, which is in the city center. Okay. I hope that you reply soon, Enrique. Yes. So that's it, basically, ¿no? Siempre hay que empezar con Dear Helen, ¿no? Dear Helen. Would you like to go to cinema with me? Basically, what you have to do in this writing is to answer the three things that you're required to do. Mhm. So easy as pie. So this is the first writing. The second writing is to write a short story. For example, here it says, look at the three pictures. Look at the three pictures. Write the story show in the pictures. Write 35 words or more, maximum 50. And this is only a sample. Well, it has other instructions. Uh, because it's a story, I highly recommend that you write the story in past simple. So once upon a time, there was a girl. A girl was working in her office, or she worked in a rainy day, and it was a very hard day, very complicated because she had lots of things to do. So she decided to have a break, and so she was texting some friends, but no one replied. She felt sad and alone because no one was in the office. When she came back, the her co-workers appeared, show out of nowhere, and it was her birthday. So she was very surprised and very happy because uh, her friends, her co-workers were celebrating her birthday with a cake and they sang a song, etc. So basically, it's inventing a story. But the condition here, because it's a story, it has to be in past, simple, past, continuous. Yeah. Okay, guys. So this is the first part of the KET, the reading and writing, and we move on with the listening. There is no tip or strategy for the listening. What I highly recommend is to have previously as much practice as you can. How can we do that? Well, listen to English music, watch TV series, uh, l- practice your speaking conversation with native speakers, which is a little bit complicated and difficult for you. Also, you can write on Google listening A2 exercises, listening A2 exercises, and then in this way you can practice. For example, here the same website will provide you more exercises. Here on Google you can have, or on YouTube, follow your favorite influencer, your favorite interests in English, of course, no? You have to be like, don't get distracted. Uh, be focused on the exam, on the listening, because if you get distracted, you will lose, mm, how can I say? uh, you will lose track of what you are listening, or you you'll be confused, or you'll be with your mind thinking of other things to do at home or at university. So don't get distracted. Pay attention, because sometimes the answer is not at the beginning. It can be at the beginning, it can be in the middle, or at the end. So the first part is about answering the question, where is Paul going? Obviously, they are going to mention all of them. But here, the important thing is, where is he going? Not now or tomorrow. Because probably they might mention about yesterday, about in next week or something like that. But where is he going now? So you have to read careful the question. Obviously, they are going to mention, and you're going to listen 2 times the audio, so you don't have to worry about that. And basically, is that activity choosing the correct picture according to the the question provided here. Basically, you have to answer that with a picture. Mhm. And as I said before, the answer can be at the beginning, in the middle, or at the end of the conversation. And basically, the others are not like that. For example, in the second audio, the second listening, it's about it's filling the gap, or it's you have gaps here. You have to listen carefully in order to get the information right, or complete the information according to the audio. No, for example, here it's talking about hotels. Here you have to answer with the time, with places, with hours, with activities, with nouns, or something like that. Mm, the listening number three, uh, the listening number three, it's about a conversation, so you have to pay attention. Mm, no, sorry. No, sí, yeah, it's a conversation. Es una conversación. It's like an interview, so you have to pay attention from the beginning till the end about this interview. Mhm. Normally, they are in order, or they ask these questions, and you have to pay attention on that. Number four, it's in this case, they are different conversation with different contexts. So you will hear each each statement or each activity two times. So, for example, this is one conversation, number 17 is another conversation, and this is another conversation. So, you have to pay attention, you have to be very careful, because if you get lost, you will block your mind. So that's the importance that I am telling you. Don't get distracted, use your time wisely, no? Um, so here in the YouTube video, I think it's two times. So you don't have to listen more than two times. It's the limit, because in the real exam, in a real certification, official English certification, you only listen two times. No three, no four. And sometimes even you have to listen only one time. So that's the thing. That's why we have to practice as if it were an official exam. Okay, guys? Perfect. So the last part, it's it for each question, choose the correct answer, look at the question. You have 15 seconds. For example, it tells you here you have 15 seconds. You have to use the 15 seconds to have a look at the sentences and the answers. No, for example, here there's a conversation where they are going to mention the people doing different activities. So you have to pay attention on the people, or maybe they are going to try to confuse you with countries or something like that. So that's why it's the importance uh, don't get distracted, because if you get distracted, you will lose uh, track, or you won't pay attention to these details. Yes, you won't pay attention to these details. No van a poner atención en detalles, ¿no? Entonces, básicamente es esto, guys. El listening, no hay que distraernos en el listening. eh, Toda nuestra atención, all our attention focus on the audio, because we are going to hear only two times. Solamente la escuchamos dos veces. En un examen oficial siempre es así, two times. Ok, y bueno, con el speaking here, the first part of the speaking is like introducing yourself, because the examiner, the official examiner, the person who is interviewing you, is asking information about you. So where are you from? What do you like doing? So the purpose of the speaking is that is like a conversation. So you have to go beyond your answers. For example, if they ask you, where are you from? No nada más decimos México. Hay que contestar más, como I am originally from Mexico, but I live in a city called Cuernavaca. It's 1 hour away from Mexico City. And then you will have more points if you answer like that, more fluent answers. Yeah. Here you have an example of part number two, but I'm going to send you, I'm going to share with you a, a, a video about that, ¿vale? Un video about the speaking test, official examination, no? It's on YouTube. You can put on YouTube A2 key speaking, and there are a lot of videos related to that official uh, examination on official interviews. This is the first part. The second part, it is a pair word activity. So what do you think about this? For example, traveling by train is interesting, things like that. So please have a look at that. For example, there's an activity in pairs or in groups. Do you like these different ways of traveling? Say yes. Why not? Okay. Yes, I love traveling by car because sometimes I do it with my family. I can see the landscapes on the roads, etc. I don't like traveling by train because I am afraid of flights, heights, and it's not for me, etc. So basically, it's not uh, participating in this collaborative work and not being in silence, porque si nos quedamos callados, obviamente nuestra mark is going to be. Vale, entonces básicamente eso va a ser mm, nuestro examen, ¿no? Entonces al final, en que terminemos nuestros exámenes de CL, tenemos que hacer esta práctica KET, más o menos similar a esta, ¿vale? Hay dos links, there are two links that I'm going to share with you. Yo les recomiendo que si pueden hacerlo hoy, que sería lo ideal, today, this practice, this KET practice, y otro sábado, la siguiente práctica, ¿no? Aquí tienen part number one, two, three. Unfortunately, it's not completed. This website is not completed. But this one, yes. Este sí está completo, ¿vale? Este no tiene, el otro no tiene listening. But this one, yes. ¿Vale? Entonces, please, ojalá pudieran hacer esta práctica KET, ¿vale? No les va a tomar aproximadamente 1 hora y media máximo, 1 hora y media. Entonces, pero como no hacemos el speaking, tal vez le tome máximo 1 hora. Entonces, afortunadamente en este sitio web tienen que elegir las respuestas. Ya cuando terminemos, when you finish the part of this exam, you check answer y ya te dice aquí, correct answer 2 out of 6, ¿no? Your score is 33% y ya te da las respuestas correctas y en qué estuviste mal. Yeah, so you have to check on that. Yeah, after you finish, check and revise your answers, and it's going to tell you the correct answer and why. Sometimes it tells you, no, the 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 reason. ¿Vale? Entonces, please do it. Y bueno, por hoy sería todo, guys. En esta semana les voy a mandar otro video para adelantarnos un poquito de lo que vamos a ver los últimos 2 sábados, que ya empezamos con la unidad 6, Unit 6 and Unit 7. It's a lot of grammar, different vocabulary, lots of things to revise, ¿vale? We'll try to do, ya nada más nos quedan 2 Saturdays, 2 sábados más para, para terminar y empezar con nuestros exámenes, ¿vale? Así que les haré otro video por lo menos cubriendo el 6A, ¿vale? I'm going to share another video, I'm going to make another video related to Unit 6 tomorrow or by Monday, hopefully, ¿vale? Thank you very much. Guys, see you next weekend. Have a nice weekend.